Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Thomas Tuchel and Todd Boehly. And has Todd Boehly given Tuchel total control about who goes and who comes in for next season?
Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm filming this one late on Wednesday, just watching Tuesday, just finished watching the England game. I know that this report came out on Tuesday, but by the time I finish editing this video and getting it out, it's a bit too late to post tonight. So it's going to be going out to you guys on Wednesday morning, hopefully, or lunchtime. But I'm going to be talking about the article written by Matt Law in today's Telegraph, where it says that Todd Boehly is going to be giving Thomas Tuchel total control over the transfer market. So I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this one. I'm hoping that it's just for this window, because obviously time is short now, and we don't know what's going to be happening with Marina Granovkaia and the rest of the scouting department, whether Todd Boehly wants to assess the whole structure of the club, from the director of football, scouts, as the head scouts, and because let's be honest, it's been a bit of a mess in the last few years, especially getting rid of players and identifying players. One of the biggest own goals has been the USMNT one, who's close, who probably by the time of this video goes out, he's probably would have signed for Real Madrid. It's all but confirmed at the moment. And to think, last season Chelsea had the opportunity of getting him when there was no competition. This season now, there's been a lot of competition for him. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are saying, "Oh, why couldn't Chelsea go in for him again?" But you know what? PSG offered more wages, bigger salary, and higher transfer fee to Monaco. But such was Tchouameni's wish to join Real Madrid that no other club came close. So even if Chelsea did come in for him this season, because Real Madrid came in and we waited and waited, then he wouldn't have joined us anyway. So, and only one players actually who are totally committed to the cause. No matter how good they are, they have to be committed to the cause, because that way they'll be given 100% for the club. So, is it a good thing, Thomas Tuchel having autonomy over the transfers? Yes and no. I always said this season he's got to be judged now. If he's going to be picking players that he wants, this is the season to judge him. You know, it's not going to be, I'm not saying fully judge him, because he's not going to, we ain't going to be able to get 8 or 9 players in one window, let's be honest. At the most, I'll say 5 players coming in. So he'll be getting a lot of players who he wants to work with. So we'll see how good he is, and what sort of structure he can come up with, and whether he can be closer to challenging for what Liverpool, Man City. Because talking about Liverpool, Man City, the report says that Chelsea want to follow on from what Liverpool and Manchester City do in allowing the manager to have a big say in who goes and who comes. But with Liverpool, it's worth pointing out with the FSG, what they do, they ask Klopp what type of player he wants, and then they will go and scout that player. It's not up to I don't think, Klopp doesn't say, look, get me this player or get me that player. He says, this is the profile of player I want. And through their sort of Moneyball approach and their data analysis, they will look at players who are suited to Klopp's style of football. Pep's slightly different. He picks his players. And the important thing is as well is who goes as well, because the report did say that obviously when Joe Hart didn't suit the the style of football that Pep wanted to play, because he likes a goalkeeper who can play from the back. And also Yaya Toure, he let him go unwisely, some might say, because of that curse, that Champions League curse that he put on the club, and they haven't won it since that curse has been put on the club. And with Liverpool, they looked at Benteke. Benteke didn't fit Klopp's style of football. I'll go on further. They didn't mention this guy, but Daniel Sturridge, he's another one who went because he just was too lazy for that pressing game that Klopp wants to play. So even though he was top goal scorer under Brendan Rodgers, he was out of the door because he didn't fit that philosophy. So I'm glad with that, because Thomas Tuchel can now get rid of this deadwood. He could say, these guys do not fit into my plans, so let's get rid. But didn't he do that last season though? Because Tammy Abraham, was it his decision? It was his, because he said he wasn't going to be playing Tammy and Gueye. Yeah, and so the club must have asked him if they were in his plans before they got rid of them. But so I'm not sure what's different there. But that's where I think they're going to be more aligned, because probably, if truth be told, he probably didn't want Alonso, but we kept hold of him. And there's one or two players that he probably didn't want. Some people were saying that he didn't want Lukaku, but he was given him as an option and he took him. So I think that the fact that he did take him, that meant that he felt that he could work with him. Otherwise, he'd have been adamant and said, no, we don't want him. Unless, Abramovic said, look, this guy's coming back, make it work. We don't know. I don't know. Some people are saying he was thrust upon him, but I'm not party to the conversations that they've had. So a lot of what people are saying is just speculation. So I'm not going to be involved in that speculation for something that I know nothing about. Anyway, some of the players that have been mentioned are De Ligt, because he said if he wants De Ligt above Gvardiol, then they'll try their best to get De Ligt. We know that Koundé is probably in the door. He's got one foot in the door at the moment. And interestingly enough, they said that the Dembele deal, which a lot of us thought was pretty much done and dusted, that it's not done yet. But if Tuchel wants him, feels that he can work with him, then they will definitely go for him. But they said that he's also looking at Raheem Sterling, and he's looking at Nkunku. So I think that would a lot. And if he wants Lukaku out the door, then they'll be willing to support him with finding a new home for Lukaku. So I feel that if Lukaku does go, and maybe there's talk that Pulisic has been put on the market for 40 million. I don't know how true that is. Werner, whether he goes, then he'll be maybe looking for a couple more attackers, depending on who leaves. And interestingly enough, there's another player that he highly rates, and that's Declan Rice. So I know a lot of us fan base don't like Declan Rice, but if he brings him in, and we know that he's in charge of transfers, who are you going to be having a go at? Because a lot of fans say, trust the process, trust our manager, but they don't want Declan Rice in. But if our manager rates him and wants him in, then you can't moan at anybody but the manager for bringing him in. I, for one, like Declan, but a lot of our fan base don't. So Declan Rice could probably get us playing back to a back four, because he's a true holding midfielder that we kind of lack at the moment. It'll be interesting. They're willing to break the bank apparently to get Declan Rice. I'm not sure what sort of money they're talking about, but he may be that marquee signing for the club. So that's it. I don't think any other players were mentioned. But for me, it's kind of dangerous allowing a manager to pick the team. As I said, unless it's an interim thing, as I said earlier, then I'll be happy with that. But if it's a case of him having total autonomy over each transfer window without input from maybe a director of football, then I've got my doubts, because supposing it doesn't work out for Thomas Tuchel, supposing he goes one or two more seasons without success and he leaves, then we're left with a team built in his mould, and the next manager coming in would have to work with these players, unless they get someone, as I said, who's in a similar mould. I'll prefer the director of football coming in and a philosophy of play identified, and similar to what Thomas Tuchel is doing. And then the next manager who comes in, then we've got that identity, we've got that philosophy, that style of play, so that the transition would be seamless. So what do you guys think about it? Are you happy with Thomas Tuchel having that total autonomy over transfers, or would you like it to be the board? Do you think the boards, because of their mess-ups in the past, that they're no longer trusted? Would you like to see a director of football come in? If so, who would be your preferred option as director of football? Stick your comments in the section below. And as always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and share this content with those who you think will be interested. Okay, take care, and I'll see you on the next upload. Bye-bye.